Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
Police in Bakersfield, California say they did not find any signs of criminal misconduct after a nurse at a senior living facility refused to perform CPR on a resident. Well, this story has prompted outrage and a lot of people are concerned.
He said the victim was surrounded by people and it was his impression that someone was doing something. Someone would do something.
Is there anybody that's willing to help this lady and not let her die? Not at this time.
As it turns out, and as we found out later, no one was doing anything.
Ken Bassano's mother and father are both residents at Glenwood Gardens, and Bassano's father was just steps away when 87-year-old Lorraine Bayless collapsed last Tuesday. What happened in the minutes after Bayless collapsed now has the senior living facility facing harsh criticism, as highlighted by the frantic 911 call between an emergency dispatcher and the center's resident services director.
The woman's not breathing enough. She's going to die if we don't get this started. Do you understand?
I understand. I am a nurse, but I cannot have our other senior citizens who don't know CPR.
It's that policy against helping that now has Bassano second-guessing his next trip to visit his parents.
I hesitate to walk in knowing that if I have a cardiac arrest, no one will do anything until someone with a badge walks in the door.
Right? That is a valid concern, and it obviously has people talking on both sides. So here's the question. What are your legal rights in independent and assisted care facilities? Joining us this morning, we want to welcome Ross Jurewitz from the Jurewitz Law Group. Ross, good morning, and thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here. This is an absolutely horrible story.
Right?
Well, I think everybody's gut reaction to this is, how can somebody stand on the phone like that and not do anything? And unfortunately, at this independent living facility, they have a no CPR policy, which is very common in those types of facilities.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit. I think if there's anything that I've learned over the years is that there are right things to do and whatnot that you deal with. And then there are the legal aspects that, you know, when it comes in court, things will just go a completely different direction because of the legalities of situations. So let's talk about this independent living facility. In this case, they say that they do not have a CPR rule. That's what we heard the lady on the phone saying, right? And that the residents that come in there, the seniors, they sign off agreeing to that.
Right. I'm not sure how much the family and the woman actually knew. Apparently there is a no CPR policy in the contract itself, but it could have been buried within pages and pages of fine print. It's really important for people to know when they're going to an independent living facility, or they're putting their parents there, or an assisted living facility, what medical care, if any, is going to be provided in case of emergency or even just standard care.
Raul was just telling me, because I know a few of us are following this, he was just saying that the daughter of the woman that passed away is not going to sue.
That's right.
They're not going to sue the facility.
That's right.
Why does this seem wrong then? When you listen to this and you listen to the call and you see this, I mean, I understand the legalities of it, but it doesn't seem right.
Well, let's clarify something here. First of all, the no CPR policy is a policy put in place by the independent facility.
Okay.
Okay. It doesn't mean necessarily this woman was doing legally or even morally the right thing. There's no duty under California law for somebody to jump in and help somebody who's in an emergency situation.
There's no duty.
There's no duty.
Okay.
You could unfortunately sit back and let somebody die, as happened in this case, without incurring any type of civil liability. But there is California law to encourage people to do so, called Good Samaritan laws, which says that basically if you come in, you render medical care in an emergency situation, so long as you're not doing something grossly negligent, like breaking someone's leg when they have a problems breathing, you're not going to be civilly liable for it.
Okay, Ross, my question would be, and I think that our friends at home will probably are thinking the same thing. Let's say you have a parent that you're thinking about putting in a facility, or maybe you even have parents in a facility right now. What are the right questions you should be asking at this point then?
Well, what you should be looking at here is, what is the living arrangements for your senior, as well as what are the medical needs for your senior as well too.
Okay.
We have various different levels of care. We have independent living facilities, we have assisted living facilities, we have skilled nursing, and they range in prices, with independent living being the cheapest to skilled nursing being the most expensive. What you want to look at is, you want to look at balancing of the needs versus what's provided to you. You want to look at the fine print. You also want to, amongst yourselves and maybe with a lawyer, game plan certain situations.
Before I let you go, just because I'm curious, so if the nurse decided to have performed CPR legally, or anybody in a situation like this, can you legally get in trouble for doing that if there's a policy that says we don't do CPR?
Well, that I think is the issue. I think that because of the policy, she was worried about her job. Legally, in my opinion, she would not have been in trouble. And even EMS on the 911 call said, look, we will take responsibility. We will walk you through the CPR itself.
See, like, this is all that blurred stuff between legality, morality, what's the right thing to do. Ross, we appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
I know that this is a talker, and a lot of people are scratching their heads about this one. Thanks for being here, Ross.
Thanks.
All right, Raul, we'll get it over to you.
All right, guys, thank you.